bro, there's nothing like it. Just hopping off the day-to-day treadmill, and in the farm, you know, it gives that opportunity to hop off the day. Man, and just talking about the farm, honestly, you know, my fondest memories of is when I think of my memories when I was younger. My memories when I was younger, I think of my Uncle Robert's farm, and he had a farm at Mudgee that I grew up going to, and all the memories that I had, what was there, and going to his farm, and I still remember, you know, shooting your sort of your first gun when you're legally able to, and riding the first motorbike, and you know, driving your first car, getting to control your first car, and just the hangouts that we used to have as cousins. We still got them on video. Just the hangouts we used to have, and you know, just the recordings of doing shows. You know, when you're little, doing shows, and then we used to, you know, at night, everyone used to be sleeping, and then, you know, me and my uncles or my cousins, we used to go and we used to spook and scare each other. Just all those memories that are built up. Even as silly as just going to toilet. Just these memories are etched in my brain. Just going to the toilet, because my uncles and you went there last time at the farm at Mudgee, and the toilet, it's not connected to the house, it's external to the house. And I remember years ago we had the lanterns. There's no like LED lights back then. There was kerosene lanterns. And every time we needed to go to the toilet, we had to turn on the kerosene lantern, make sure there was kerosene in there. And we used to take it out. It was similar to about that size.
How old were you?
From the get-go, I think. So he's had the farm before I was born. So my memories.
Oh wow.
My memories are, you know, when I was younger, so 5, 6, 7, whatever you got.
That's a blessed childhood.
Man, I loved it so much that I grew up and I said, oh, if only I could give these memories across to my own kids one day. And I remember I wanted the same things for my own kids, to have those memories. And we were just watching videos earlier of memories when my kids were smaller, and so that's what I wanted for my own kids. And then, you know, I remember, and luckily for my father himself, he wanted the same thing. He wanted the property, wanted the same thing.
When did your father get the farm that we visited?
Faith was about 6 months old. So Faith is literally, she's 15 and a half years ago, mate.
Wow.
15 and a half years ago. But that was good. That was good. So,
and the kids are still enjoying it today when they go up.
Yeah, still enjoying it today when they go up. And it's good. And I think you had the same feeling in yourself. And how come you went and why have you got a property? Right. What drove you to purchase a property? There's were my memories. Did you have any memories like that?
No, not on a farm. I think the one thing that I wanted was years ago we went on a holiday. Yeah. And we decided that we'd have a look at some property around us. We looked at, I forgot where it was, but...
who was on holiday?
Me, my sister, Rose, some of the kids. Yeah. And...
so was Charlize born?
Yeah, she was born. She was still quite young.
Yeah.
You know, they were still quite young. But we went and looked at a few properties, and then it kind of stopped right there. We didn't pursue it, but it was in my heart that someday I wanted to get land because, as you know, I think it's in our blood that we enjoy the outdoors.
Love it.
And when we went and we stayed at your father's farm, it did something to me. So as soon as I came back, as you know, we're renowned for being snappers.
Yeah.
Something snapped in my head. And I said to my brother-in-law, let's go. I want to look for a farm. That's it. We've got to bring this childhood. We've got to let our kids enjoy the outdoors.
I agree, man.
Teach them. Let them experience something they haven't experienced before. I didn't experience it. I didn't have the childhood you had growing up, but I could foresee the enjoyment. Now, what I thought, because I kind of made the decision on my own to get a farm. I didn't really consult my wife. I didn't consult anybody. Gotcha. All I said was, George...
I never have that problem. I never do that. I always consult with my wife.
It's called the snapper syndrome. You snap, you do.
It's so good.
So I said
but they love us anyway.
I said to my brother-in-law, you know what? it's on my heart. I really want to get some property so that we can go and enjoy it. And George, like usual, he says, do whatever you want. So in one day, I looked up a few properties and we went and visited 3 properties in one day. Now, that was an 11-hour drive because as you can appreciate, to the first property was 3 hours, to the next property, and to the next property. By the time you get home, it's about an 11-hour drive.
Hey, wait up 1 second. Was that after the trip to my father's property? What was it about my father's property that triggered something that just said, that just...
Good question.
That got the wheels turning again?
Good question. Besides the fact that we had the opportunity to scare the kids, we've got to tell that story. What it was the camaraderie. It was the fact that you can be outdoor. It was the fact that you can clear your head.
Gotcha.
And not have 1,000 thoughts racing through your mind, thinking about what you're going to do the next day.
The break of routine.
The break of routine. Now, you know very well, when you go to the farm, something happens to your brain.
Gotcha.
You forget everything.
Gotcha.
You can think clearly. You can enjoy your surroundings. You can pretty much do whatever you want.
Mm.
Like you said, you know what? I feel like a midday nap. I'm going to go and have a midday nap.
Yeah.
There's no pressures.
Yeah.
It's just there. And so the second trip around, we went, and one of the last properties that we saw after driving for, 11 hours or so, I said to the guy, this is the property I want. He wasn't too interested in selling it, but I forced his hand. I told him I'll even buy him a hamburger if he does the deal, because he's from the country. And we kind of done the deal. I suppose once we purchased it, it was really exciting for us. Now, my concern in all that was, my wife's not really an outdoorsy person, and George's wife is not really an outdoorsy person.
Yes.
So the question was, are they going to enjoy what we enjoy?
Gotcha.
So, to be quite honest, it was a massive punt. It was a massive punt on my behalf, because I'm renowned for making these type of decisions at the drop of a hat without consulting anybody and going for it.
How come Mudgee? Why Mudgee?
Man, I really didn't care where it was. I really didn't care where it was. All I wanted to do was find that right property.
Gotcha.
And we've spoken about it. It had to have the 3 aspects: a clearing, seclusion, and an area which had lots of trees and bush area where you can just have it all. And we found that.
I think you ticked all the boxes, man. I loved it. I love that rock area that you have there as well.
Yeah. And we found it. But the question is, how has it panned out since then?
Yeah.
Have the women enjoyed it? Have the kids enjoyed it?
Have they?
What has it done for our family? What has it done for George's family? And what has it done for those that have come to the farm? Big question. And what I found is when they started going up and we started enjoying, those night times where you sit around the bonfire and the whole family just comes together. You see the look in your kids' eyes. They're laughing. They're telling jokes with their cousins. And let me tell you, I've found that they enjoy spending so much time with each other. The family has become so much closer with our kids that they look forward to nothing else but spending their winter nights at the farm doing whatever they want to do.
I love it. I love times like that when you're away from the routine. It's a break from routine, because what you just described is that remember when moments. Do you remember when we went? Do you remember when we did it? Do you remember when? I think like life needs that do you remember when moments, and the farm, I think, allows for that remember when moments. Remember when we did? You remember you fell off the. You remember when you the bonfire and the stick, and so that's what I think. The farm gives it, and some people don't like the farm; they like the water. I think the beach might do that to some people too. We like both. Yeah.
Well, you go to the beach every year.
Yeah.
We spend it at the beach, a beach house.
Something about the bush and it's just nature, the bush and the water. Either way, it does that.
If we back up a bit, let's just say we back up a bit. You know, I kind of see the hand of God moving here, because I think what a blessing that He's given us this property and that we have this. And we work hard.
Yeah.
And I believe you can enjoy the fruits of your labour. As a matter of fact, I came across a verse that I was reading that reflects that very thought. And not many people know this, but when you work hard, I believe that God does want you to enjoy your fruits to some degree. And I think people miss that fact. And people might look at it and say, oh, they've got property here and they've got property. No, we worked hard to get to where we got to.
Yeah.
We've strived. We have a lot of stresses in our lives. We have our businesses. We have our ministries. So I think, you know, when you look scripturally, there was always those times where the apostles would retract with the Lord and go to a resting place. This, in fact, has become our resting place.
Sure.
But look, I'll share something really quickly if I can.
Yeah. It's to plug the charger back in, eh?
Eh?
When you plug... The farm gives you time to plug the chargers back in.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I love it. How did Rose take it when initially she's like not an outdoors person, and how did she take it? How did she initially, and how is she finding it now?
Well,
she's going to watch this, you know that, Peter.
She's going to watch.
You better be nice with our Rose.
You know what? She absolutely loves it.
Now?
Loves it.
Now?
She looks forward to it. They all look forward to it. My concern was that they were going to get bored from it.
Yeah.
It's too outdoorsy.
Sure.
But they love it.
Initially, what did she say?
The first time they went?
Yeah.
I don't think they expected to enjoy it that much.
Gotcha.
I don't think they expect... Yeah.
It's
it
got
was.
everything.
And again, the women themselves have come closer and they're enjoying everything that they do.
I love it.
They love their country shopping. They love,
I think, Peter,
getting to town and...
they might be lying to you about loving the farm. I think they just love going shopping down to Mudgee.
Yeah, probably. Who knows, mate? Knowing our women, mate, you can't stop them. You can't stop them. But let me share this verse with you.
Yeah.
In Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 19. Now listen to this. Every man also to whom God hath given riches, okay?
Yeah.
Whom God has blessed,
Yeah.
right? And wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labour. This is the gift of God.
Sure.
So the only way we can look at it is God has blessed us.
Sure.
And I thank God for that, because when I look back and you look at the farm, how awesome has it been when you get to spend these quality moments with your family.
There's nothing like it, bro.
You know what I mean?
It's good. I think it's when our fruits become our God, and that's when it's an issue, and it starts to shift. I think that's it becomes an issue where they become it becomes your God. That's when, okay, well then if you put it before, if you don't prioritize and you put it before God, and then I think that's a concern. That's like a red light, you know. But if it's like you enjoy your sort of rewards and your hard work, what the verse is saying, I think, you know, it's a right way to look at it.
You know what? God's blessed us, and we're using it as a blessing towards others, because everybody that comes up, and you know from when we went to your farm, you just want people to sit back, relax, enjoy it, jump on a dirt bike, jump on a quad bike, go for it, enjoy it. And I thank God we've done that. There's nothing like those big barbecues.
I love it, man.
Those big barbecues where you buy a barrel, you cut it in half, you buy them shucked, you put it on the top, and you can cook 50 pieces of sausages in one hit.
There's only way, no other way to eat, mate. No, I love it. Yeah, I love it. That's good there now. But you know, when it gives us a spin, Pete, did you drink?
I put sugar in it.
But no, I've topped it up. It was nice, man. I like that. I think I have to do it again if I had. When you bought the property, what did it have any buildings on there? Did it have? What did it have? Has it got electricity?
Well, you know what? Good point. Let me just make this point, right? There was an old, not really that old. It was, renovated somewhat.
Yeah. What?
But there's a little dwelling there.
Yeah.
Which is like one big room. It's slightly partitioned, right?
Yeah.
So you ask the question, how does everybody fit? Well, everybody sleeps in the one room.
You know, Peter, 1 second. That's all part of going to. That's when you think back. Even though I want everyone to be comfortable, have their own room. That's all part of the journey and growing up.
Yes.
That all being together.
And let me tell you, even though we're building another dwelling, we're still enjoying that one room.
I'm with you, bro.
Where everybody's hearing everybody snore.
And
with all due respect, everybody still hears where somebody goes to the toilet.
Yeah.
Because everything's connected.
Gotcha.
And so at this stage, you know, you go to bed hearing a few laughters, a few noises to some degree.
Yeah.
And it's that bond which is starting, again, it's brought the family together. I look at my nephew Michael, right? It's done something to his personality.
Love him.
It's made him appreciate life a bit more,
man.
Because he's got that escape to go to work with his uncle. To just, you know, work with our hands, chopping down a tree, cutting down a tree, you know, starting up a fire, the simple pleasures, you know, that we've all lost touch with.
Yeah.
So to us, it's been a massive, massive blessing, which I didn't see.
Yeah.
The women are loving it.
Yeah.
And we look forward to going there every year.
Bro, there's nothing like it. Just hopping off the day-to-day treadmill and in the farm, you know, it gives that opportunity to hop off the day and you realise it's when I think, you know, looking back on the little time I've spent on earth, it's, you know, it's the small things in life. There's little things that just there's little 1%ers that you enjoy. Little 1%ers you find out. There's small things in life you find out in time were the big things in life. You know, that achievement, that it in my opinion wasn't that nugget that you were. That wasn't it. It was those little in between moments. That was a life's journey. Just that time where you can just shove your head into your son.
Let's think about it. Let me ask you a question, Bobby.
Yeah. Go for it. That's what I'm here for.
Let me ask you a question. Do you find you can relax in your own home, that you can get that mind clearing even whilst being in your own home?
As in here in my own home?
Yes. Are you able to clear your head?
Man, I have just been slowly trying to learn how to do that. I've been slowly trying to learn how to do that. Not 100%, but I try for it. Feels like something's always needed from me. And even if it's not, it's like subconsciously I need to be able to, did I cut that? I need to do, it's just subconsciously drawing me. Sometimes in just recent weeks, I've been enjoying just going up to my room and flicking off the light. And it's just like, and I'm going to bed early. What?
But how long does that last for?
See,
this is my point. Our problem is we're connected to that device, the mobile phone.
Yeah.
Right. So even while we're at home trying to unwind, there's an attachment.
I'm with you, man.
And you can't unwind 100%. I do the same. I go to my bedroom right now. I'm reading a book. Okay, but still, at the end of the day, it's only temporary. The thing with the farm that we've experienced is when we go there, I don't have reception at the farm. Yeah. To some degree.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a blessing.
So what does that do?
Yeah.
Subconsciously, I feel like I'm free.
Gotcha. Love it.
I'm disconnected.
I love it.
I go and I love it there. What do I do? Ask me what do I do, Bobby. Ask me a question.
What is it? What do you do?
Work all day.
Gotcha.
And yet my head clears. Why?
I don't know.
Because I'm not tied down.
Gotcha.
I'm not tied down by, you know...
self-inflicted workload.
It is self-inflicted, but as you appreciate, you run a business.
Yeah.
I run a business, right?
Yeah.
We have ministries on the side.
Yeah.
We're a needed people.
Yeah.
People are looking to us to provide security for their personal lives and also to support them in their spiritual life.
Yep.
Correct?
Gotcha.
So, we need that time of rest.
Gotcha.
If Jesus himself took the apostles and rested, how much more do we need it when we're moving at 100 miles per hour from 7 a.m. in the morning to late at night when we're coming back home from meetings?
Gotcha.
Hence the farm.
It's the farm, yeah. And for us, and some other people might be something else, but for us, it is the farm because that's what we know we have. So whatever it is, I can't tell you, Peter, you can't be spending that much time at work. You can't be spending that much time at the farm. You can't be spending that much time in ministry. It's about your own personal balance. If you feel like you're lacking, you're dragging, your energy levels are shifting, well then, work less, go to the farm a little bit more, balance it all out. If you feel like, you just basically, every person's life is a little bit different. You just have to prioritize, start from the top priority, whether it's God, your family, your work, whatever it is, and just balance it all out for yourself. And like human beings, we all need to rest in whatever capacity it is. And I find the farm, it's just allows me to plug the charger back in. I was just there on Sunday over the weekend, and my uncle's like, are we gonna? I said, Uncle, when I'm here, it's a very simple routine for me. I work 2 hours when I wake up. I work 2 hours in the morning. I have my breakfast. Okay, 2-3 hours in the half an hour. I have some breakfast, then I work for about 2-3 hours. I fiddle and do whatever I want, but then I have a break during that midday. And just liaise whether I will eat, I will have a nap, half an hour nap or whatever it is. And then what happens is I work towards the afternoon. I like working in the morning and the afternoon. I don't like going all day depending on what's going on there. Now that the building is built, okay, when the building wasn't built, and I'm going to ask you about what you're building there now in a second. Yeah. When the building wasn't built, I used to work in 3 days. I used to work for a whole week in 2-3 days, from the light up to light down. But now when everything's done, when everything's done, I just have like a balance about it. And what happens is there's no pressure, and it's on my own time, and I sleep when I want to sleep, I eat when I want to sleep.
I'll tell you what I appreciated when you came up to my farm to give me a hand, and the fact around midday, you took that table.
Yes.
You walked straight into the forest, into the trees.
That's it.
You unfolded it. You stripped down to your underwear.
I love it, Peter. You got to let the air in.
You can be free. You can be free. You can do whatever you want.
In the bush, man.
And you slept on that table for an hour and a half.
There's nothing like it.
In your underwear.
I love it. I needed a pillow, Peter.
Amongst all the animals.
Let's just get this right.
Did you fall asleep?
I took off my pants like I didn't have a pillow, mate.
But did you fall asleep?
I did, yes.
Because you were clear.
I'm telling you.
Eh?
It was fantastic. Just times like that you appreciate. Times like that. So it's a good balance. And so in whatever capacity, people listen, some people might just find that sitting on a chair with a book in their hand, cup of tea, and just out in the backyard is their just haven. Whatever does it for you is what I'm saying to you. But that's great. But anyways, so there's already a property there.
It's already a property.
So what did you do? Or I was going up there helping you.
Okay, so what it is.
Building a property.
All right, this is the thing.
So you're building a house, you're building some sort of a dwelling there.
Yeah.
Why are you building it? There's a couple of containers there. Okay. What was the go with all that?
We're quite limited. When we go up now, it's getting bigger and bigger. There's a lot more people coming up.
So the dwelling that you purchased and there was a house on there, that wasn't enough?
No. No. That's enough for my family,
yeah,
George's family. And you know what? We all sleep in bunk beds, in the one room. And it works. And it's great. And we're happy. And we're loving it, to be quite honest. I think there's going to be a sense of sadness when everybody starts getting their own room.
I get that.
Because you're sleeping... And you got your cousin across the road from you, and you're still talking in the night, and you have a few laughs, like I said earlier.
I get it, mate.
But now that people are starting to come up, I think we need a bit of space, because people that are coming up are staying in hotel rooms.
Gotcha.
So you know what? We purchased this farm for camaraderie. So,
and not everyone's a farmie that comes up,
No.
Some people
and they don't need to be.
Yeah.
They don't need to be, but they're going to get an experience they haven't experienced in a long time.
Yeah.
For example, outdoor cooking.
Yeah.
It's like a missions trip.
I love it.
You know what I mean? You crack open that bonfire and off you go. You're sitting that night. They call them smalls. They're cooking marshmallows. Bang. Everyone's telling jokes, stories. They're taking photos. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to be able to accommodate for approximately 3 to 4 families quite easily. And there's plenty of land, and anybody can do whatever they want at any given time.
Gotcha.
So that's the purpose.
I love it. And so I saw a couple of containers there. Why the containers? And the buildings there, what did you build the building? You got containers there,
Yeah.
and then you were going to build a
Container
container
home.
homes, and you shifted into these foam walls, which was surprising to me, but I love it.
Yeah.
I think I love it. What was the whole idea with the container homes?
I wanted to build a container home.
Yeah.
Again, we're snappers by nature,
Yes.
right? So I'm in the habit of taking on projects, killing myself,
Yep.
then taking on another one once.
Red
we're
line all
finished.
the way. It's
all
called
the
then.
way. Well,
I enjoyed that, bro.
it was nice. There's more in it. Do you want me to fire
No,
it
no,
up?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So we bought a container, and we thought we'll buy another container and build a structure right in the middle of it.
Cool.
So we got the first container delivered,
Yeah.
but then when I rang up the container company,
Yeah.
they started to raise the price. and
For the second
for
container.
the second container,
Gotcha.
and delivery is this, and you know what? And I thought, I had enough. So I thought, let me think outside of the box. So I was on a job site once, and I saw this guy building a big cool room with fridge panels. And I thought, you know what? That looks magnificent. Insulation properties, fantastic. All right. So the more research I did, I found out they even make it in a roof,
Sure.
as you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You got
I've
the
installed
100
the roof
mil.
once, yeah.
You install the roof,
Mm.
and so the structure right now is half container
Yeah.
and half fridge panels. It's like one big fridge. We were able to cut in windows, put dividers, create rooms,
Gotcha.
and
Are those that fridge panel? Is that structural as well? Do you need to frame up? Do you need to frame up and then you cover it with the fridge panels as an insulation?
no, it's not really structural, but it works.
Gotcha.
You
You can't build two-story on it?
No, you can't build two-story, but it's designed that you can have a single level dwelling with it, and it's very safe and it's quite solid. It's a colour bond exterior with a foam interior. So the insulation properties are there for the winter time to retain the heat, and the summertime to keep the cool.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Insulated.
And what do you think of the looks?
I-
Honestly,
Listen, I don't. It's grown on me for a second. It grew on me rapidly, and I was like, I would never have thought about it. But then, when I take in consideration, it's structural, it's insulated, it's painted, it's complete, it's done. Then I'm like, oh, wait up. If we went the conventional route, you'd have to frame up, you'd have to cover on the outside with insulation and foam and the covering, then gibrock, set, paint.
yeah.
It cut all of that out just with one wall gun, complete. I love that idea.
Yeah.
And I remember I was telling you, do the math. But what's the cost of going down the conventional route and then sticking to this foam route? I know the foam is a lot more expensive. Did you try
okay.
and do some sort of math
Yeah.
to figure out whether
I can
you're in the deep?
only kind of give you my gut feeling on it. First of all, a project that would have taken maybe 3 years has taken 1 year.
Uh-huh.
Because if you eliminated a lot of other
Yeah,
trades,
yeah,
once
yeah,
that
yeah.
wall is up,
It's up. It's done.
you don't need to paint it. You don't need to do anything.
I love
with
that
it.
idea.
Okay, it's up. It's up. It's already colour bomb. I would say overall it might end up a bit cheaper.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah,
I
a
love
bit
that.
cheaper.
And it was fairly cool inside. It was
Absolutely cool.
fairly
Yeah.
cool inside.
Mhm.
But I was going to say and I know you've got one container there, then you've got the foam building that's going off that, and then you're going to cover that with colour bond. I'm interested to see the complete look, and I love, like, you've got a veranda there, was it 12 or something metres long and 5 metres wide?
Yeah,
That's an art and a half. I love that.
yeah.
I love that. I can't wait to sit out all there in a barbecue.
And I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to finish it. Put a deck bed, have a lie down. But this is the problem that we have.
Wow.
Do we stop there? Do we stop there?
Peter, listen, if you got the same disease as I have, you'll create something else that you didn't know you needed and you
Already
didn't really
have.
want.
Hence the bee farm. Why do we want a bee farm? I don't know.
I don't know.
We
Yeah.
want a bee farm.
Yeah, that's
we want to
right.
make our own honey.
Yeah. The left brain cell told you right brain cell, it's got to happen.
Ah,
So we got to have it.
and it ain't gonna stop.
I love it all good. So in saying that, farm is good, family love it. The building sort of just over halfway getting completed. You got finishes to go there. what's left to do? What's left to do there? What's left to do there? And how long do you reckon it'll take to finish?
Well, we've still got to fit out the bathroom and the kitchen.
Yeah.
Line the inside of the container.
Yeah.
Everything
all
else
the
is
plumbing
pretty
and
much
electrical's done?
To some degree.
Okay.
Yes, to some degree. So, once that's, in all honesty, I can probably say if I was there 3 weeks straight, I'd have finished it.
Gotcha.
But 3 weeks on the farm, as you know, is about 6-7 months.
Gotcha.
Because when you go up, you only go up in spurts of 2 days. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And when you can get time off work and then time off church to get up there and work and then come back and do it again, time fleets away from you.
Yeah. But I know from my experience, you know, going through that, trying to complete that building, when it's done, it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's nice, and you can sit. And the only problem is pulling your own reins back.
Yeah.
So relax with the new idea. Relax with the other idea. Just relax. Just enjoy it. But you know, that's. I think it's in our. It's in our nature. There's only so much time we can sit around. We need to be sort of actively doing.
This is the
something.
problem. And you and I both know that we're geared very highly.
Yeah.
We struggle to stop. When do we learn to rest?
It's what I said about earlier, Peter. What I said earlier. You got to find your own. You got to find your own balance. I can't tell you that's enough, and
But
that's
how do
too
you
much.
pull back? That's the question.
You just shift, man. How do you pull back what?
How do you pull away and just saying, you know what? Let's just stop and relax for a while.
But are you talking about after the building's complete?
Yes.
Just stop.
Okay, let me ask you this question. When you stopped building this place,
Yeah.
what happened to you?
I had.
Be honest.
I had a lost period when I was like, I didn't know how to not function under pressure because I was so used to functioning under pressure that it became my normal, and then it takes
Could
time.
you stop? Because I know you kept looking for the next project.
I did, and you know what?
That's my point.
I'm just about to kick it off.
Which is,
The renovation at the centre, and
there you go.
yeah, and so
So how do you pull back?
I just got to have. How do I pull back? I don't know how I pull back. I just got to keep my balance right. Okay, I've got to say, I've got to, you know, like autocorrect. I've got to correct myself. It's like, oh wait up, am I spending enough time at home? Am I spending enough time with I haven't even spoken to my kids, you know, for the last 3 days. You know, have I? Are you even present when you go to church? Are you there?
Exactly.
You're there, but are you there? Oh wait
Exactly.
up, I've got to be there. And the shift for me was being there. Was like, hey, I snapped myself out of it. Say for example at church, I was like, hey, where are you? Get up and sit at the front. Stop being sidetracked from people or whatever it
I'm going to
was.
stop you right there. See that problem?
Yeah.
I struggle with it big time.
With what?
That, and let me explain. Years ago, and I'm saying years ago, I sat with a pastor for a bit of counselling, a bit of one-on-one like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And he said something to me, because I told him, I feel like my mind's always scattered. I'm doing one thing, then I've got to do another thing, and I've got to do another thing. And he said
Gotcha.
to me, he goes, Pete, whatever you're doing, just focus on that.
Love it.
Right there. It's a simple solution,
Love it.
which not many of us do.
Zero
For
into
guys
where you're at
like
right
you
now.
and me,
Yeah.
we're highly geared, right?
Yeah.
We're wired.
Mm-hmm.
We're revving at about 8,000 RPMs, right?
Love it.
And he's saying, whatever you're doing, let that take your attention.
Love it.
If you're at church,
Be present there.
switch on to church mode.
Love it.
When you're sitting in a meeting, do not listen to anything. When you're with your family, and this is another discussion,
Love it.
you're present with your family.
Love it. It's important.
And that's the biggest thing.
It's important.
So I would say, how do you pull back? It's hard. And I think sometimes, as Jesus retracted with the apostles, I would say to you, Bobby, go on a holiday.
Gotcha.
Just you and your family, where you're away from your house, you're away from everything else, and you're forced to do nothing but be in that pool.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing pulling you. The centre's not pulling you. Work's not pulling you.
Yeah.
Church is not pulling you. People aren't pulling you.
Yeah.
Your phone's not pulling you. So what are you going to do?
Mm.
You have to be there with your family
Yeah.
just to stop. And that's why I think you've got to book regular holidays without being too arrogant.
It doesn't have to be like we're going to cross to New Zealand, like a big
No.
holiday, just
Look,
a
I suggest it's got to be a getaway.
weekend away. Yeah, I get you. Something away.
You know what?
yeah.
Honestly, I think it's got to be more than a weekend.
Sure.
It's good to do the weekenders, but I think you need a trip. I haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, I know when I go, because I know in the past, every time I've gone on a big trip, when I went on a cruise once,
Yeah.
it took me 3 days
Yeah.
to be able to still my mind.
I get you.
I was going to bash my own friends.
I get
was
you.
like, man, where have you... I'm on the sea on a boat.
Get you.
I'm going to go nuts. And my brain struggled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our brains struggled just in the first 2-3 days. We're at a machine, like a vending machine, trying to win. You know, where you put money in it, and then there's a needle that goes up, and then it actually punches a hole, and then you win that prize.
No, I don't know how.
Okay, there's a machine that does that. So you got to wait till the pin gets to a certain height. You press the button,
Yeah.
and it stops, and you got to try and get that pin to
Yeah.
go through a hole.
Yeah, they suck
And if
you
it
in.
goes through the hole, sucked us in. Mate, it cost us hundreds and hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
to win a small prize. But you know what? The point is,
Yeah.
we just couldn't unwind.
Gotcha.
It took us 3 days, but once we were there,
Yeah.
we were there.
Yeah.
We can enjoy the
Yeah.
seas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you got to find your own balance, man. Like I
You
said.
gotta find it out. I believe life is balanced.
Yeah, and shift your energies. If you're feeling like something's drawing you here and you need a bit more there, just autocorrect, man. Autocorrect. Don't derail your whole. I can't believe and I should have been. Just shift.
Look, I don't
Shift.
believe looking back.
Shift.
I never look back.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Takes your focus on going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And the church theme has been pressing on. So I take that literally.
Yeah.
And I believe it's wrong to look back. I really do. And I believe it's biblical. And I believe it's somewhat, and this is again my opinion, and I always say it's my opinion,
Yeah.
it's almost a sin.
Gotcha.
And I'm kind of veering away from, maybe I should say it is a sin to kind of dwell on the past. Because every time somebody in the Bible dwelled on the past, they paid the consequence.
Gotcha. You know, you say don't look back. You feel like it's wrong. Is just not dwelling back, but just okay, having a look just to recognise and then move.
Good point.
Don't stay there.
I think what we should say is learn from your past moving forward.
Gotcha.
But don't let your past dictate your future.
Gotcha.
Because the minute you do that,
Yeah,
you're limiting your growth,
I'm with you.
in essence.
Yeah. So, I love it, Peter. I love the talks we have, bro.
Are we getting deep, or
Huh?
we're not really that deep?
Mate, we're just scratching the
We're
surface,
scratching
Peter,
the
mate. We
surface.
can't get too deep too quick,
We're
man.
just two blokes from the farm.
I love it. I love the car trips when we just, bro, it's a 4-hour trip. I'm like, oh, it took us 5 minutes to get here, bro, because we're rattling on. What do you see for the farm? Like, what's your, if you're, I know for my farm, my parents' farm that we have, just, I feel like one day that I want my kids to bring their kids so they could just do the little simple things, that they've got a place to go and have the simple things. That's, so all the buildings that I'm building and everything that we're trying to do now there is to sort of set it up in a sense where it can be, what's that called? Where it can be,
You know what? You wanted to be in an adventure land.
yeah, sure.
I mean, look at it. When we go to the farm, what do? Okay.
I want to do what you can't do here in Sydney.
Exactly. So do I allow my kids to drive on the farm and they're 8 years of age?
Yeah,
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Under supervision, of course.
yeah,
All right. But what do, right? We've got an archery set.
gotcha,
They get out there and they're
Gotcha.
doing archery.
gotcha.
Okay. At night, we put them in the back of a trailer. We
Yeah.
drive around at night. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, it's a small property, so you can't go very far. So
Gotcha.
in the night time, they don't know where you're going. So you're going around in circles, and to them,
They're
you're
traveling.
covering kilometres, man. You're covering kilometres. All right? But they're loving it. And I'll tell you what I see. I hear them singing in the background.
Love it.
They're jumping, they're singing, they're laughing.
Yeah.
You know,
You-
going over those bumps.
You wouldn't get that going down to the local shops there in the back of the
No,
car. I get it.
no. And then you
It's a
got
good time, man.
you got things like, okay, they jump on the dirt bike, like we
Yeah.
said earlier. They jump on the quad bike and
Yeah.
they go exploring.
Yeah.
They go for their long walks.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we were at the farm, Rose and Abby were walking, right? We're walking the farm. And the next door property has cows and bulls. And you wouldn't think that the bull would make its way over our
The
side
bull?
of the fence. Yeah,
Yeah.
the bull, because it's fenced off.
Mm.
And they're walking, and they saw the bull, but what they didn't realise, the bull was on our property. So as they got closer, the bull charged them.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember you telling me.
So what happened? Rose and Abby, they run for it and they hide behind a tree. Now, they're panicking at this stage.
Yeah.
So this bull, as soon as it turns its back on them,
Yeah.
they just run for their lives back to the main compound. And Abby comes up to me and she goes, Daddy, there's a bull and this and that.
Yeah.
And I said to her, this is how I told you the same. I said to her, Abby, how did it make you feel?
Yeah.
She goes, Daddy, I couldn't feel my legs. she was petrified. She was petrified.
Yeah.
So I go, Dad, jump on the back of the dirt bike. She
Yeah.
says, what are you going to do, Daddy? I go, we're going to pay the bull a visit.
Gotcha.
I take that fear factor out of her
Gotcha.
mind. So we went up to the bull. Now the bull, obviously, when it saw me, out of fear, it charged me.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of revved the motorbike and I realised what it was doing out of fear.
Yeah, of course.
But they're the sorts of experiences she's going to remember. I came across a bull,
Mm.
you know, with my mum. And so forth. There's so many things. And at night time, we go for a meal
Yeah.
downtown in an
Gotcha.
old town, and it's just that rustic feeling.
Yeah.
You've got the fireplace in the background. They're cooking your pizzas. Again, you're tired from working all day, but you're there and you're loving it.
Yeah. It's a different environment. man.
Different whatsoever. It's completely different.
Yeah.
And you know, when we go up,
Yeah.
we love it.
Love it.
Head clearers.
Yeah, man. Never get enough of it.
No.
But that's all good, man. Inshallah, the farm stays and the generations will stay after that, mate.
Well, you know what? We're making it an adventure land.
Let's continue, mate.
Yeah.
Love you, Pete.
Love you, Bob.
Oh, man.